If you're hoping to get ahead in life and pursue goals in a way that's valid and not only self-serving, but serves the purpose of helping you achieve those goals expeditiously, there are certain groups of people you must avoid. And in this final episode of this series, we'll discuss those people who lack spiritual astuteness. They have no relationship with God. They live a life of sin. They're led by feelings and they're controlled by temptation. We'll discuss that today. But first, let me welcome you to the show properly. All right, so what's good, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the King Ray Ray Show. I'm your host, Book of Alpha Running Man, aka Doc BOA. Let's get with it. You know, when you're moving through life and you're navigating the obstacles that come in all of our lives, you start to notice something about people. There's groups of people that seem to always have a positive outlook, and there's groups of people who always seem to be negative naysayers and always expressing doubt and always, being unmotivated to achieve the things that they say they want to achieve. And there's one thing that distinguishes these two groups of people from one another, and that's spiritual astuteness. See, it's easy to be motivated when things are going great. It's easy to speak positively when you're reaping the rewards in life that you feel like you deserve. It's a totally different thing to stay steady when the obstacles arise, when times get hard, when things get difficult, when people aren't who they say they are, when you have no one to rely on but yourself. And that's when spiritual astuteness takes place. Now, let's just go ahead and kill the elephant in the room. The majority of people have no relationship with God, so they claim a religion. I'm weary of people who lead with religion all of the time, because religion simply means that you go to a certain building to worship whatever you think your God is. It has nothing to do with the way you live your life. Most religious people are not spiritually astute. They're just religious. They like to beat their chest. They're Bible thumpers. They promote tactics of living and methods of living that they actually don't practice. And we say all the time, and they have these sayings where you can get information from a donkey or a bum, or I ain't listened to a bum tell me nothing about anything except what kind of liquor to drink and where the best place to get free food. When it comes to life, you must understand that the devil comes in so many different shapes, forms, and sizes that he'll present himself to you in the way he needs to in order for you to be taken advantage of. So the more spiritually astute you become, the more he knows he needs to shapeshift and come in a form that seems right to you, that seems righteous to you. And that's why you must avoid those who have no relationship with God, because they are the ones that are the easiest for the enemy of your success to use to thwart any attempt you have to live a life that's pleasing to God. These people come out of the blue. They come, sometimes you know them, sometimes you don't, but they come and they seem to bring positive energy. But you have to not be so gullible to energy that seems positive when it's truly not. How do you do that? By making sure that your energy is positive, by making sure that you're living a life that's pleasing to God. Are we perfect? No, we can be, but most of us aren't. But that doesn't mean that you just live with this YOLO, you only live once mindset. Because yes, you only live once, but you also only die once. And depending on how you live during your only live once experience, it determines how you're going to die. Is it going to be slow and agonizing? Is it going to be pain free? Are you going to die in your sleep? Or are you going to become perfect spiritually and live forever? We'll talk about that on another show. You have to understand there's one way to be spiritually astute, and that's living a life that's pleasing to God, living by the word. If you don't live by the word, it doesn't matter what you do. Simple things, the easy things. If you can't do the easy things, you can't do the hard things. If you can't honor the dietary laws, which are very simple, if you can't stop eating pork, you're not spiritually astute. There is no God dwelling in your body if you got a body full of pork. You recall when the children of Israel came out of Egypt and God told them, when you need to relieve yourself, you need to do number two. We need to take a boo-boo. You go outside of this camp and you bury it outside of the camp. If you boo-boo in this camp, I ain't coming in. That's how God feel about foulness. So if he's not going to dwell in the camp with they boo-boo and they wouldn't eat pork, what make you think he's going to dwell inside your body, which is his temple, if you're eating the wrong things? If something says is an abomination and you still eating it, you're pretty much saying, God don't care what you say. I'm going to take whatever excuse I can that these people give me in their religions, and I'm going to eat this anyway. And then I'm just going to live with the consequences. And then when I'm 60 and they tell me everything about to shut down on my body, then maybe I'll try to stop eating it then. If you can't honor the Sabbath, hey, God didn't say, unless you have a job that makes you work on Saturday. Most of y'all don't even have a job that you got to work on Saturday. You still can't rest on Saturday because you don't respect God. You don't honor God. And people that don't honor God, no matter how good you think they are, they're not spiritually astute. So when times get hard and times get difficult, do you think God is really going to answer their prayers? Do you think God is really going to have mercy on them when they don't even try? It's one thing to not do all of it, but if you can't start with the easy ones, why would anyone trust that you can do the difficult things if you can't even handle the easy ones? If you can't control what you put in your mouth, then you certainly can't control what actions you do behind closed doors when you think no one's looking. Also, people who are led by feelings. This is why when you look at the word, God never gave the law to women. He didn't give the law to women because he know women aren't led by their spirit. They're led by their feelings. What you have to make sure you don't do is get caught up in your feelings and start thinking and viewing life from a female perspective, because then God deals with you the same way he deals with them. You need somebody that lord over you. Why you think only suckers and simps go to church? Now, don't get offended by that. But if you go to church and you're not like in a position of power, if you're not like a deacon or you're not the pastor or an associate pastor or something, or even the choir director, and we know about choir directors, but if you're not in a position of authority and you sitting down in them pews, letting this man lord over you, it's because you're in your feminine mindset. You're in a feminine energy and you're looking for a man to lord over you and give you that type of guidance. The reality is, if you don't know by now that you must stay in your spirit realm in order to be logical, and then you're defeating your whole purpose in life. We must understand who people are and accept them for who they are. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just true. If you're led by your feelings, then you need to be a follower of someone who is led by their spirit. If not, you're going to continually be in this up and down roller coaster in life. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, man or woman, you're going to be in this up and down roller coaster in life where certain pockets of your life are going to be good, and then you're going to be in the gutter. And then you're going to be good, and then you're going to be in the gutter. And you're going to be good, you're going to be in the gutter. And it's going to be a roller coaster that you're just going to get used to in life, because you have to accept your plight in life or change it. Now, the reality is, most times changing it is easier said than done. So embracing spiritual astuteness as a man is one of the most important things you can do, because then you can't be sidetracked by your emotional attachment to someone. You can't be sidetracked by someone who wants to live the YOLO, you only live once life. You can't be sidetracked by someone who is controlled by temptation, controlled. You ever wonder how you see a situation where a man has a wife and he has got caught sleeping with her sister? He's controlled by temptation. There was a teacher recently. He just got ended in prison by his cellmate because he was accused of being with a 15-year-old girl over and over again because he was controlled by temptation. There's people who go there every Friday. The casinos down south, they are packed every Friday. I'm talking about packed to the brim. Just go and walk through one and see how many people are in there sitting at a machine playing 1 penny, mashing the machine playing 1 penny, which means they absolutely cannot afford to even waste 2 pennies. They've gotten so downtrodden that they're just sitting there mashing 1 penny over and over again. And I guarantee you, they're back in there every single week. Why? Because they're controlled by temptation. You know what temptation is? It's you catering to your 5 senses. If it smells good, looks good, tastes good, sounds good, or feels good, you'll compromise and sacrifice things that you have no business compromising and sacrificing to cater to those 5 senses. And these are people that they don't care what happens to anyone else as long as they get that pleasure for that temptation. When you think about people who are led by feelings, they don't care about anything else. Whatever they feel, it just needs to be remedied. It needs to be rectified. Doesn't matter what the consequences, repercussions are. And it's not because they're bad, it's because they can't think past those feelings. It's not because they're bad, it's because they can't think past those temptations. It's not because they're bad, it's because they can't think past whatever benefit they think they get from living a life of sin. But at some point, you got to understand that in order to keep your relationship with God strong, you have to avoid people who don't have a strong relationship with God. Why? Because when it comes time for them to receive their just recompense for whatever actions that they are committing, if you are close enough to them, the fallout of their consequences and repercussions will reach out and touch you. Because what does God tell us? Don't keep the company of wicked men. Don't keep the company of evildoers. Don't go in the way of the wicked. Avoid them. Avoid their path. Because if you go down that path, you will invoke the Most High's wrath. It doesn't matter what you've done before. What does God tell us? When you have lived a life of sin and you change your life and live righteous, none of your sins shall be attributed to you. Now you're a righteous man. But by the same token, if you live a righteous life and then you convert to a life of sin, then none of your previous righteousness will be awarded you. You will be punished for the sin that you commit right now. So look at your circle around you. If you are around 5 evildoers, you will be the 6th. If you are around 5 people who are controlled by temptation, you will be the 6th. If you are around 5 people who are led by feelings, you will be the 6th. You find me a boy who was raised in a household with nothing but women, he is feminine. He is led by his feelings. There's no other option. You find me a girl who was raised in the house with nothing but men, guess what? She's the most logical woman you ever met in your life. Yes, feelings may control her at some point, but she's the incredible version of the female that thinks before she feels. It's very rare, but you know it when you see it because you are who you spend the most time around. And if your friends are wicked men, so are you. If your friends are led by temptation, so are you. If your friends are living a life of sin, so are you. And if your friends have no relationship with God, I think you can figure out who else doesn't. You must value the things that are valuable to you in your life, nobody else's life. We're all individuals because we came into this world alone, and it don't matter who else leave here with you on the same day. There's going to be one person in that coffin with you, and that's the man in the mirror. Stop believing that you can convert people when it's not your job. You got to do your thing and let God do his. Stop believing that you can change people when people don't even want to change. You got to do your thing and let God do his. And also, stop believing you owe people access to your energy if their energy isn't reciprocal. You got to do your thing and let God do his. Life is already tough if you don't have the focus, determination, drive, willpower, and desire to be on your purpose every day of your life. The more people you invite into your life who are adverse to that purpose, the harder it is for you to stay on task. And if you can't stay on task, you might as well walk around with a flask because they no different from you than the man that wastes all his time being drunk. Neither of you will ever achieve your goals. So remember, spiritual astuteness, very important. And you must avoid people who have no relationship with God, who live a life of sin, who are led by their feelings, and who are controlled by temptation. And if that is you, you better turn your life over to the Most High right now today. That's all you got to do. Turn your life over to the Most High right now. Decide that you want to be a spiritually astute man, a spiritually astute woman. Take the vow of the Nazarite. Separate yourself from wicked people. Separate yourself from evildoers. Because the only thing that an evildoer cares about is the good feeling they get from doing their evil. They don't care about anything else. They don't care how it affects anyone. That's the most wicked person in the world. A person who does things that are foul and has no remorse or no concern about who's affected by their actions in a negative manner. Those people are wicked, the most wicked, and you must avoid them. All right. If you got something from this video, man, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on your way out. Man, y'all comment down below. I look forward to reading your comments. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't respond to all the comments, but I read them all. And I will respond to the comments of members of the channel. I will make sure I do that. And everyone else, I'll try to respond to as many as I can, but those members will get their comments responded to. I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the way y'all growing this channel, man. This channel, we should be at 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's already October. We should be at 100,000 by the end of the year. So let's go ahead and get this second YouTube plaque, man. Let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to pop the content. Y'all stay in the comments. Y'all keep subscribing. Y'all keep sharing. Y'all keep liking the videos, man. All right. Until the next one. Peace.